Can you just tell us a little bit about your background briefly? Like how long you've been doing this? How many babies have you seen?
I have worked with babies hands-on for probably 17, 18 years before I became the sleep expert. And the only way that I did become the sleep expert is because of my time with the babies. I always say it was my babies, not my own, but the babies that I was taking care of that taught me what they need and what sleep training really means and how easy it is if you stay consistent.
What do you actually do as a sleep coach? How do you differ from all the other coaches out there?
A woman called me from Connecticut, I think. Said, I've been reading this other program that said, watch the cues from my 8-week-old baby, but only give him one nap in the crib. And the rest, you can hold him, you can take him in the stroller, you can do whatever you want. I said to the mom, well, that in my way of seeing it doesn't work because you're giving the baby mixed messages. Babies are super smart. They learn everything from the day they're born. Whatever us moms do, and I'm saying us because I also made mistakes, that's what the baby learns.
How would you describe your overall parenting philosophy?
I've learned that the best way to express my way of doing is the good old-fashioned way. I call it a discipline with some crying. And when I say discipline, it doesn't mean spank, yell, scream, none of that. It means be consistent. You're basically teaching your baby good habits. That's all it is. So right. Depending on the age of the baby and the weight, there's a little bit of crying. So the 8-weeker gets a lot less than a 4-month-old and a lot less crying than an 8-month-old. And then if I train toddlers at 2 and 3, which I do up to 3, then it's a whole different story again, because that's more like I talk about rewards and consequences. When a baby starts, when it's born, and it starts crying because it's overstimulated, tired most of the times. Then we go to the doctor. The doctor said reflux. And then we go to another doctor and they say, they never talk about sleep deprivation because it's a can of worms. Like you say, some people say, don't let them cry. Other people say too young. Other people say too old. Do this, sleep in your bed, sleep in the stroller, sleep in the swing. They're all Band-Aids that sooner or later will give you problems.
How are sleep and discipline intertwined?
I had a mom just yesterday call me. I said, last night, 9 months old. When does your baby go to sleep? Anywhere between 6:30 and 10. For 3 hours in her crib. And then after the 3 hours, she comes to our bed. What would I do for, quote, discipline? She would go at 9 months every day between 6:30 and 7, eventually between 7 and 7:30, but not much later. Takes 2 naps. Why do the babies, even the babies, do better with a nanny and a daycare than with a mom? Because there is a discipline. The daycare puts them to bed at 1 o'clock and they go to bed.
Everyone swaddled their baby really tight. I know you have a different method of swaddling. Can you talk about the tight swaddle versus why you do it the way you do it?
Because I want to continue the baby, what it's experienced for 40 weeks, 38 weeks. In my times, it was 9 months. The baby was not swaddled. The baby had his hands up. And I feel that, yeah, sure, they love coming into this world and mom is so excited and dad and everybody, but it must be somehow traumatic for them to get the light, to be out in the world and eye drops and talking and sharp lights, and why mummify them? And also what I find is that because they, quote, are mummified, hands down, for so long, some of them for 6 months, that they don't have mobility and that they can't do push-ups. When they get on their tummy, they just go plop down. It's not natural to swaddle them. Then it's also very difficult to get them out. They start hitting themselves. But if you take them out, or if you keep the hands out, they slowly get out themselves. A lot of moms say, oh, he's getting out himself, or he hates the swaddle, or she. I try to make the little babies' lives easier and happier.
Is it important for a mom to prepare for having a baby before she goes to the hospital, or having things available for the baby before she has the baby?
Not to read too much, not to listen how hard it is, to read one book, which is the one that's what to expect when you're expecting, which tells them what's going on in their body, which is kind of amazing. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, forget it, because whatever she learns, whatever class she takes about nursing and this and the other, when her baby is in her arms, it all goes out the window. The emotions are totally different when you're just reading something or listening to something to somebody, and then your baby's born and they think, oh, but my baby is different. Well, sure, it's different. It's your baby. The character, of course, is different of the baby, but that doesn't show up really when they're newborns.
It's just how the mom is doing the routine and just setting him up for success from day one. It's all kind of the same.
Healthy baby reacts pretty much the same.
So preparing for baby, we talked about the crib, a bassinet, which usually, a bassinet they would only use. Tell us when they would use a bassinet.
Whatever bassinet the mom wants to get a really small one, a very narrow one, a very hard one. There's some that are super expensive and they're pretty hard. I don't think that's very comfortable for the baby. I don't want a soft mattress, but not like so hard like the floor. I don't believe in rocking them from the beginning, because once again, whatever you do, the baby gets used to it.
So I want to have you name the top 10 things or top 5 things that a mom should get. If you can just name those off.
Butt cream that nobody uses anymore.
Oh, butt cream. For rashes.
Aquafor if they want at the beginning, but then if they get a little bit red, Desitin. Wipes, they don't need wipe warmers unless they want to be extravagant. I tell them, please don't keep changing bottles if they're bottle fed, because then that's confusion again. Whatever the baby starts drinking from, that's what you should keep. You should get some non-synthetic blankets, or if you don't want to use blankets, during the day, it's okay to use a blanket because you're watching your baby. And the monitor should be a visual monitor.
So then we're talking about, the whole thing about what someone should buy. I think they buy tons of toys. And so when, especially the baby. So when your baby, the first 12 weeks, they really don't need much more than what you mentioned.
Maybe the baby can hold a little teether or one of those little circle things by 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. By 12 weeks, the same, maybe Sophie the giraffe, or maybe the little arches that have 2 or 3 toys, not 10 toys. They don't need constant music. If they're kicking, there's this mat that has something that if they kick, it starts making noise. Baby Jim, I like the wooden one that has 1 arch with 2, 3 toys. I love that one. And the babies seem to enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, so for like 3 to 6 months, is that when they can start having the little musical toys, or when do you recommend introducing stuff that does have noise?
6, 8 months, they can start playing with the drum. Maybe you take it away after 4 or 5 weeks, and then you bring another toy, and then you bring the drum bag. The xylophone is great at 4 or 6 months. They love it. You have the xylophone, right?
I did. They loved it. And the drums. They love the drums too.
Drums. Yeah. They love to listen to music. One mom had a lot of trouble with her baby, and they lived in a very beautiful area. And I said, just put the chair in front of the garden and put some classical music on. And I called it Zen time. She said, no, he's going to hate sitting in the chair. And I was there. It was at the times when I could go visit. And we put him in front of the garden. We opened the door. It was nice weather, and put classical music. He was like a new baby, not a peep out of him for about 30 minutes. It was so amazing. And then she would email me and she'd say, Vivian, I'm giving him Zen time.
And then once I get to be 2 years old, you really don't have to worry. I mean, just the rule there is just less is more. Tell us about after they kind of reach 2.
If you have time, even if you have 30, 40 minutes, which I hope all moms have, go sit and play with the train. Go play with a little kitty cat that your daughter has. You do a construction and you build blocks. You can do amazing things with them, but you have to help them, or the good nanny. If you don't have time, you have a good nanny. You tell her how you want her to play with the baby rather than give him or her the phone or the iPad. No. They have plenty of time for that.
Everyone's just so distracted on their phones, and people don't pay attention to anybody anymore. I think that is so important to remind people to slow down and really spend time with their kids. So
when the mom is saying to me, this is so hard, before they hire me, of course, this is so hard. Just enjoy it. It's a fleeting moment. It's not so hard.
That's right.
It's so hard. People have done it for thousands of years with a lot less.
So where can people go to find more information about you and some of your coaching?
Oh, they can call me. They can see my website, viviansonnenberg.com.
So thank you so much for coming and sharing. And it's great to always to talk to you.
Kelly, good to see you.
You too. Thanks again, Vivian. Okay, bye. If you know someone who'd be a great fit for the show, come on over to ingeniousbaby.com and share your tips and story ideas. You are your baby's first and best teacher.